get into it heading to Waikato. Now Hampton Downs for some VTEC thrills with the Motul Honda Cup.
Warm-up lap for the Motul Honda Cup Race 1 here at Hampton Downs. This is round number 4 of their championship series. Let's have a look at the grid because there are hundreds of them. On the front row, it is Mark Walters and Richard G. In row number 2, Shane Parsons carrying the number 1 and Colin Arbar. Look further down through the field. Series sponsor Tim Pollard goes from 7 and his adversary Martin Dunn from 8. David Geraghty makes an appearance from grid position number 11. Trevor Strong from 15. He had problems in qualifying, and alongside him it is Yun Lee. Watch also for Gavin Boyne and Ryan McCartney from 19 and 20. And at the rear of the field, we will have car number 62, and that is Stuart McChesney from grid 29. We are under safety car for race 1 of the Motul Honda Cup, and that means that it will be a rolling start for this huge field. And on the front row, it is Mark Walters, and alongside of him, the man that does such a lot of work behind the scenes, that is Richard Gee. In a new livery on the Honda this year. It looks like carbon fibre. It's not. It's a wrap, but it's a wonderful job. Once again, with Honda Cup, I'm joined by Al Stewart, Mr. Honda Cup, really, Al Stewart. Gee, once again, you've got huge fields.
Yeah, I think a record field for us, Australasia. We were 2 up on last year, and
they get set to go this time round. 8 laps for the Motul Honda Cup. It is round 4 of their championship, so they are past half distance. Remember, 4 classes, H1, H2, H3 and H4. We will tell you about them as the flag drops and we're underway. And look at Shane Parsons. He carries the number 1 plate. He is the overall champion from last season, and he's already got up the inside of Richard G. And has he made the pass and moved into second as they go through the off-camber turn 1? Once again, Al, we're going to see this battle that we saw all last season as well between Walters and Parsons.
Yeah, Walters has moved up to a new car, a bit more power, so he's been leading the charge this year. And as what happens, the past winner has been having some mechanicals, so this is the first real battle these two have had so far this year.
Oh, and you talk about door-handle to door-handle racing. Tell you what, if you're a fan of Honda racing, if you're a fan of high RPM racing, you'll love the Motul Honda Cup. And what about the shots from our curb cam? So it is Walters in the front, I beg your pardon, it is Parsons in the front now. Walters back into second place. Richard G shuffled into third. And already we've got 1 round.
Yep, Gunlin spun the DC5. Hopefully she'll correct herself. It won't be a safety car.
Here it is on the replay. Oh, just got a little bit hot coming into the infield here, but very lucky not to collect anybody else. Well, they say you chance your luck, don't you, El?
You do, yeah.
Back into the racing proper.
Walters back out in front.
Exactly right.
Yeah, he set the fastest qualifying time by a second from Richard, so he was expected to be out, but Shane's hasn't had a good run this year, and I think he was quite determined to be on Mark's tail, as well as Richard as well.
Parsons looking once again to go around the outside as they head up and over the hill here at Hampton Downs. Down into the Austin's turn. They are door-handle to door-handle at the moment. They battled long and hard all through last season. And the race championship order was not what you see on your screen. It was number 1 Parsons in front of Walters, but now it's the other way around. Richard G's getting a little bit swamped here by Warren Tunney, by the look of it, Al.
Yeah, Warren's 1600 class winner and quite a standard car, but an extremely talented young driver.
Lap 7 of 8 in the book as they go across the stripe here at Hampton Downs. Part of the support program for the B&T V8 Super Tourers, but a fantastic little category of racing on its own. There is the series sponsor. This is Tim Pollard out of Howick in East Auckland.
Tim's a real great supporter of Honda racing. You know, he's been the guy that's funded the sport basically from the start. He's funded the TV coverage. He gets out there and races, and I mean the only rule we have is don't tag the sponsor because. But his driving's really improved in the last couple of years. He's become a lot more aggressive, and he gets out here and does laps in his S2000, and doing really well. So he's moved up the field in quite a heavy car. It's an ex-Japan 1 mate car. He's kept it as it was out of Japan.
How often do we see that the lap traffic plays a part in the motor racing and the results? Because Andrew Frank's doing the sensible thing, he's just holding his line as Mark Walters just tries to negotiate him, and you'll get a shot, a glimpse I should say, in the back of the shot of Shane Parsons. So the gap's starting to grow as the checkered flag flies this time, and Mark Walters gets the win from Parsons in second place. 8 laps in the book for the Honda Cup, and it's Mark Walters on top. Shane Parsons in second place. Richard Gee in third. Then it's Colin Arbar in fourth. Fifth place is the series sponsor Tim Pollard. In sixth, it is Warren Tunley. Seventh is Rick Wakeland. Eighth is Martin Dunn. In ninth, it is William Yu. And in 10th, David Geraghty.
Yeah, good tough race. First out, good to get that one under my belt, and we'll see how the handicap goes as our next race.
Race 2 for the Honda Motor Cup here at Hampton Downs, and the grids look like this. It is Noel Anderson and Stuart McChesney off the front row. David Harker and David Miller in row number 2. Andrew Franks and Greg Spark in row number 3. Now this is a handicap start, so they will go off in speed groups. Mark Wilson will lead the second group away. Gary Morrell will do the chasing. In the third group, it's Gary Wilson from Wakatani and Jamie Wiggins starting together with Trevor Strong and William Yu. Further down through the field, they get faster and faster. Warren Tunley and David Geraghty, Martin Dunn, Rick Wakeland and Tim Pollard and Richard Gee. And the fastest off the back will be Mark Walters in the 27th grid position. Sunshine greets the field of the Motul Honda Cup, and this is a handicap start. And the first away is car number 54, and that is Noel Anderson. So they'll go away in speed groups. Once again, I'm joined in commentary by Al Stewart. Al, you've been feverishly beavering away with the calculator there, and you've worked out that this is race number 2. We've got some points changes from race number 1.
Oh, sure. Mark Walters has moved further out in front of the field in 460. We've got Colin Arbar, Martin Dunn, Tim Pollard all closely behind. Richard Gee and Warren Tunley also very close. So there's still halfway through the series, we've still got potentially 10 cars that could be looking to be winners.
So this next group away, Jamie Wiggins, Gary Morrell in it, Gavin Boyne not too far from leaving the start line either. There is Gary Morrell. Jamie Wiggins chasing him hard. Remember, 4 different categories in the Motul Honda Cup. There's the H1, the 0 to 1600 class. There's the 1600 to 1800cc class. That is H2. H3 are the 2-litre powered cars, and H4 are the over 2 litres. Fastest 2 get away now, and Al, they are giving the front runners one heck of a start here at Hampton Downs.
Yeah, well, if it all works right with our theoretical program, everybody should cross the finish line at the same time. But the back guys have obviously got to pass just under 30 cars, so gives the new guys a chance to get out in front, a little bit of glory, and occasionally they can actually get off the front, and there is possibility that one of the slower guys could win the race.
You know, we've talked about racecraft, and how important is that going to be for this? Because it's going to be so hard for these faster cars coming through this huge field, this big traffic.
Yeah, when you're in a field of 30 cars, you can't afford to take your foot off, basically. If there's a gap, you've got to go for it, and the people in front are getting away.
Well, I've just got a red flag coming up on our timing monitors. We'll just keep an eye on that for you.
Yeah,
yes, the red flags
are
out, so there's been an anomaly here at the start. So it looks like we will do it all again.
The top 13 perform live for the very first time with your wildcard Fletcher back for a second chance.
The most exciting thing about live shows is the crowd.
Who will make their mark?
It's about being a performer, about being an entertainer.
I'm going to bring my soul to live shows.
And who will crumble under the pressure? On the X Factor live stage, anything is possible.
Now it's all in.
I want this real bad.
Just such a massive opportunity.
Brought to you by the all-new Ford Cougar. The X Factor, 7 o'clock tonight on 3.
You and 5 friends could watch the All Blacks play France live at Eden Park from a corporate box. The only catch, one little treadmill. To enter, just buy any Rexona product and visit treadmillofdevotion.co.nz. Do more with Rexona, proud sponsor of the mighty All Blacks.
Oh, I'm on the go. So, Life Direct, well, it cuts out a lot of legwork.
Compare plans and prices from the leading insurance companies all in one place. Visit lifedirect.co.nz.
Oh, cup of tea.
Pestrol has the latest technology that repels rats and mice and even helps control cockroaches. Covers walls, ceilings and open spaces. Combines electromagnetic, ultrasonic and ionic technologies. Harmless to pets and people, just plug it in. Order your Pestrol rodent-free today. Now $149.90 plus courier. Order within 20 minutes and get it courier free. Call 0800 88 88 44 or go to pestrol.co.nz.
How much fun will you have with your tax refund? With our average refund of $428, you could get an automatic flycatcher. Or maybe not. See what you're owed today at taxrefunds.co.nz.
I just can't believe I'm here. Shadow on the lung. What the hell is a shadow on the lung anyway? Why did the test take so damn long? Please don't let it be cancer.
If you're looking for more from a home loan, you'll discover that BNZ not only offer this very special rate, but $1,000 for fuel or
Well, all changed in race 2 for the Mobil Honda Cup. Because of an incident in the first turn, the race has been deemed to be restarted, and it will be a single file rolling start, but it will still be essentially the fastest boys from the back, and they've got to get through something like 26, 27 cars in the remaining laps, which we think now is 7. Now, that is a big ask for the likes of Parsons and Walters.
Yeah, it sure is. They've got to go for every single gap. With the field this compressed, it's probably going to be harder in the next 3 laps for someone to make a move, because you get past one car and there's another one immediately in front. But it probably improves the odds for the back guys of actually getting through and getting a win.
Now, it sounds like common sense, but all the top racing drivers have told me in a handicap situation, you want to negate that handicap as quick as possible. So that means that these guys will be charging from the flag form.
Sure, no, basically it's a sprint race now with the grid reversed. So yeah, you've just got to go as fast as you can, as quick as you can.
David Harker has already picked up a spot there of Greg Spark as they work their way into turn 2. The race leader, though, is Noel Anderson. But for how much longer, I wonder? Richard G's done a good job there, out to come up through the field. He really has got a rocket ship start. So watch for him, the All Black car number 34. The Banklink Speed Factor car, you may remember that from last year. There it is there on your screen, the Stark Black. It's actually got a carbon fibre wrap right around the car. It really does look something special. Last year it was in camouflage colours, so talk about completely different.
Yeah, we said to Rich, time for a change, time for a new attitude. He's driving well, and obviously luck's fallen, he's found a few gaps. If he can get through, he can put a few cars between him and Mark.
Now you were saying you've got some news from the point situation after race 1.
Yeah, sure. Well, overall, Mark Walters has pulled out a big lead at 490, with the next guy 286. But if we go to the classes, they're very, very close. So potentially 7 or 8 guys can still win every class, and with a potential 170 points per round. The gaps are very small. So the real fights are on in the under 1600 class, 1800 class, and under 2 litres. I see Sean Morris in the Hydrolink cars booth up. He's another one of our young drivers, come out of karts and open wheelers, and he's driving basically a standard 1600 car, but a really good driver, late breaker, and he's come through the field very well as well.
He's got a glimpse there of Mark Walters. He's up into 12th place now. Richard Gee has made his way into 5th, so he's going to get a top 5. Just trying to negotiate the 21 car there. That is Jamie Wiggins, that is Mark Walters. So he continues to progress forward toward the front of the field. Greg Spark, the race leader.
I think Sean Morris might have just passed him.
I think you're absolutely right. There is Spark in the 23.
Yeah, Morris is just in front in this yellow car, and exceptionally talented young driver.
I think this is a car that Kevin Varney's had a bit to do with.
Kevin's mentoring him. We showed you, with a fairly standard car, you can still do exceptionally well. It's all about the seat time, not buying the bling for the cars.
So Sean Morris, the 111, the Hydrolink car, in the front as they crest the top of the hill here at Hampton Downs once again. Who's going to go through into 2nd place? Richard Gee's going to be in it, and so too will Sean Parsons, and we'll wait for the judges' call, because that was very, very close. Mobil Honda Cup Race 2 results see Sean Morris driving from grid 21 to take the win from William Yu, Richard Gee, Shane Parsons, Greg Spark, Gary Morrell, Mark Walters, Stuart McChesney, Martin Dunn, and in 10th place, Jamie Wiggins. Third and final race for the Mobil Honda Cup here at Hampton Downs. And this one, the grids are based on the fastest times throughout the weekend, so all the action should come from about grid 10 onwards. Let's have a look at how they'll line up. Once again, a huge field. On the front row, it is David Geraghty and William Yu. Row number 2, Martin Dunn and Rick Wakeland, Warren Tunley and Tim Pollard on row 3. Row 4 is Colin Arbar and Richard Gee. Row 5 is Shane Parsons and Mark Walters. Then it's Gary Wilson and Sean Morris, winner of race 2. Brent Hay and Gavin Boyd are next from Trevor Strong and Gary Morrell, and then Tristan Neat and Ryan McCartney. Further down through the field, Jamie Wiggins and Greg Spark get together. Mark Wilson and Andrew Franks. Ewan Liu and Stuart McChesney makes up grid 23 and 24. 25 is David Miller and Noel Anderson. 27 is Mark Morrell, Dave Harker, and at the back is Oliver Haycock.
Yeah, the fast guys are 8, 9 and 10. We've reversed the top 10 for this race, so the front will compress. Gives the back guys a chance to race cleanly, but the front guys have really got to fight to get through. So see Richard there in the black car. He's already moved up 3 slots.
And just going past Martin Dunn there was Richard Gee, but it's William Yu out in the front. Well, we saw in race number 2, didn't we, that Sean Morris came from, I think, grid 23 to get to the front. So it can be done.
Yeah, it's a matter of luck and skill combined, I think.
Mark Walters on the move here, and Tunley's got it wrong, coming over the top of the hill, and there's another one on the grass as well.
Yeah, cold tyres in the first lap, you know, and talk to these guys every race about this, but it doesn't seem to sink in.
So Warren Tunley, the Hutt City Auto World car, goes round on those cold Hankook tyres. Meantime, out in the front, it is William Yu, it is Geraghty through in second place, and once again, a brilliant start from Richard G.
Yeah, well, these 2 front guys will be trying to go as quick as they can.
Here's a replay of the incident in lap number 1. Al Stewart called it just cold tyres, and there was nothing Warren Tunley could do about it. Well, we saw these 2 battle long and hard for the Motor Honda Cup Overall Series Championship last season, and they're doing it again there. Al, they say Robbins Racing, I'm pretty sure there was a bit of contact there between Parsons
and
Walters.
We're a non-contact class, but you know, we don't mind a little bit, but...
they all say that, Al. They all say
do,
that. It's a non-contact sport.
Yeah. These 2 are great mates, you know, they're from the same car club, they've raced together for a long time, they do work for each other, but they do race hard when they get out there.
There's no doubt about that. We've seen some fantastic racing over the weekend here at Hampton Downs, and William Yu holding on to this race lead. Here comes the big challenge down the inside
looking for the gap,
of
not quite there.
I think Geraghty just used a bit of racecraft there. He thought, I'm just going to shut the door. You're not going to come up the inside of me, Richard Gee. Maybe it'll be different this time round as they head up the top of the hill here at Hampton Downs, up onto the main straight. Yu holds on to it.
Yeah, Richard's got through.
Harbour coming as well. Geraghty's going to be swamped here. Maybe he's going to be caught for track position because gathering up all the courage and going right around the outside is Colin Nabar. What a great move that was. He had no answer to it. Walters has shuffled his way up into, well, we'll wait a while. It might be third in a minute. Shane Parsons has got all he can handle with the 77 of Martin Dunn, the Filter Master sponsored car.
You know, the Honda front-wheel drive cars are quite sensitive to track condition, and with the resurfacing, it's made some of the areas quite slippery. That's why you're seeing some of these guys spinning and the back sliding around. So some of these guys are taking it a little more careful than normal. Like Mark's going to shoot through the middle.
He's going to try to as they go through the infield hairpin, but it's still Colin Nabar in the front. Walters up in second place now. You just looking for a bit of track position, getting up on the grass, but holds the outside run as they come right towards the camera here, heading down into the big sweeper at the top end of the circuit. Richard Gee around the outside of William Yu to try and move up into third. Walters has gone past already.
You can see these front guys are actually, because they're battling, they're holding the times down, and they're allowing these back markers to get up behind them.
It'll be interesting to see if Mark Walters can live here on the outside through turn 1. Yes, he can.
Yep.
So Mark Walters is your race leader in the Repco sponsored car.
Yeah, Richard seems to have dropped back. He was going hard at the start. He may have overheated his tyres a little, and Colin seems to be coming through. Yeah, there's Rick Wakeling. He's an 1800 car, and he's just moved up onto the back. But you know, normally he wouldn't be able to pace it with these guys. So the fight's, you know, allowing him through. He's just taking the Just Tyres car with Dave.
Wakeling on the move there. There's Dave Geraghty in the Just Tyres car. You heard Al mention Martin Dunn. There's Wakeling. Pilot looks a piece of this action as well as he tries to go right around the outside of Geraghty. Can't get it done.
I see Sean Morris there in the yellow Hydrolink car. You know, 1600. He was yesterday's winner in the handicap, and he's actually pulled that group back. So he's doing an amazing job. Well down on tower.
Well, talking to a couple of the guys, they said, you know, he's pretty new to it, but he's so smooth. You told me you looked on the onboard cameras, and you know he's just at home in the steering. He's just rolling with the car. He's just a real talent on the way.
You know, he's just showing that you don't need the tower. He's very good on the brakes.
Well, braking won't be on the mind of Mark Walters as he puts the throttle to the floor and heads for the checkered flag. to complete our Motor Honda Cup with a win for Mark Walters. In second place it will be Colin Abar, and in third place it will be Richard Gee. Third and final race of the Motor Honda Cup sees Mark Walters take the win from Colin Abar. Richard Gee is third and Shane Parsons in fourth place. In fifth it was Martin Dunn. In sixth it was the series sponsor Tim Pollard. And in seventh, Rick Waketon. Eighth place was Dave Geraghty. Ninth, Sean Morris. And in 10th it was Trevor Strong.
Mark, reverse top 10 race, you managed to get through to the front. A little bit of traffic to get through, but more importantly, another good points haul.
Yeah, needed the points in this last race of the day to try and get the round. So I think we've managed to do that now. And yeah, good close racing. Yep. Almost rubbed some panels a few times, so it was good.
So